Hey everyone, this is Temperance from Komickrazi Studios, and I want to invite you into my studio. I work out of my home in the basement. To the left is my office, where all my exciting paperwork happens. I have some fun costume stuff on display. My Masquerade Red Death from Phantom of the Opera. And I've got Tui up there. It's a puppet that I made from Little Shop of Horrors. And when I'm not doing fun paperwork, this is where I make my suits. So yes, my studio is called Komickrazi for a reason. All those bookshelves are comic books. I am a bit of a nerd. I've also got a Scarface puppet up there too. These are my work tables. They're a pair of cutting tables so I can cut fur and fabric on them. They have storage underneath so I can store duct tape dummies and stuffing. And sometimes they hold a bit of fur. The drawers on the end are full of exciting shipping supplies. Stuff that I give to customers and for labeling boxes. And the lower drawers are full of sewing patterns. And assorted other paperwork. I also have fake hair, leather, and leatherworking tools. And more drawers on the side full of fun stuff like duct tape. An ever-exciting assortment of tailor's chalk, sewing needles, and scissors. These tables are also on wheels so I can separate them if I need more space to move stuff around. I do plenty of work right here. And I've also got a set of desktop work tables here. This is where I do most of my fursuit head work because I need a table to work on. I always work in front of a mirror. I find when I work in front of a mirror it helps with the reflection so I can make sure that everything's symmetrical. All of my drawers and stuff here full of various crafting tools. I have drawers and drawers full of claws and teeth, and drawers full of horns and spikes and other fun things. Down below I have drawers full of eyeballs, drawers full of noses, assorted patterns for ears and tails, and paw pads and hooves. On the other side, very similar, some patterns for feet paws, assorted crafting goods. This is my adhesive drawer full of glues, and a paint drawer at the bottom for all the assorted paints I use. Most of the work I do is right here in front of the mirror, so I have handy stuff, scissors, paintbrushes, everything from saws to utility tools, hot glue, and some ice cream mesh, and various other stuff. You can never ever go wrong with a few sticky rollers because it gets very hairy down here. And underneath, these are just two bins full of assorted scrap foam as needed. Now we move on to the pièce de résistance, my very exciting wall of fursuit stuff. So sometimes I've got to make do projects that are too fun to keep in boxes, so I put them on display here. When we moved into the new house here, I specifically demanded a slat wall so I could display heads and assorted sewing stuff right near my sewing machines. So these are all just on basic wig stands with a mannequin display. So I can just pop the heads on and off. If I'm going to a con, I just pop it off the wall and off I go. And they're pretty cool to look at. Hildur Scourge Daughter, my char, guards my sewing area. And I have two sewing machines. This one is my industrial, just a basic sewing machine. It's a Singer 20U. It does a zigzag and a straight stitch. I usually work with a very thick nylon thread. I keep bobbins and clips close at hand, as well as ever important labels and sewing machine needles. I've also got elastics, nylon strapping. Along the wall here I've got velcros and boning and wire. I've also got an assortment of zippers of every shade and color, because you never know what color you might need. And then this machine here is my sergers. So sergers are used for nice decorative edges. It's also used for spandex. It's a little scarier because there's more threads involved. This is also an industrial machine. It is a Singer 990 E3. And then the back wall over here, I just have extra stuff. Backup swatches for fabrics, some makeup things, extra product and material for shipping stuff out, and notions like buttons and hooks and that sort of thing. One more mirror. Hi everybody. Whenever I'm doing a costume stuff and I want to see how it looks, it's easy if I'm right by the machine to just pull it on real quick and take a look. And then around the corner, the last part, this is just a mannequin I build stuff on. I have 2 of them. And a few costumes I've got on the go. I've got Marianne from the Netflix series. I'm going to make this creepy and add a lot of dirt and dust effects to make her look scary. And I've got a Gwendolyn from Odin Sphere on the floor. So, this is where I work every day. It is a nice place to work. If you're going to work somewhere, you might as well make it cool and enjoyable. Alright, now we'll move on to the fur and storage room. So you saw my other notions, but this is where I keep all of my furs. I've got assorted furs on some rolling racks in large tubes. These were made by my father-in-law, who was super awesome to do that for me. And I've got 2 rolling racks for hanging furs that are 3 meters or less. So this is my natural colors hanger. Everything's hung on pants hangers. And back here is my coloreds rack. So anything that's a color under the rainbow that's 3 meters or under will be hung here. Doesn't stop there though. There's more fur around the corner. I've got all these assorted bolts of fur, various lengths. I've got cosplay bins, feet paws, other assorted partials, props and toys that I use. See, I've got a few cosplay guns up there. I've got a few hooves and hand paws. And then this rack here is where I keep head bases, fleece and fabrics, feet paw bases. I have some racks full of shoes. This way I don't have to run out to the Walmart every time I make a new pair of feet paws. I might already have the size in stock. More fabric. These are all my dragon fabrics. Every time I find a scaly fabric online, I tend to buy it just because I know I might need it one day. This plastic area here is my spray booth. Anytime I do any airbrushing, I do it in here to keep the mist and dust enclosed in one tiny little area. You can take a peek inside. Very important, I've got some N95 masks here. I promise I'm not stealing them, I've had them for quite some time. There's my airbrush compressor and assorted airbrush paints. So I do my airbrush painting in here. I've also got a hook on the wall up here. And if I need to hang a suit and work on it that way, if I need to do a lot of airbrushing, that's where I could do it from. Back out, and you can see I have another hook outside here. This way, if I need to, I can hang duct tape dummies on a chain and work on them. This is especially helpful if it's an awkward size or shape, like dragons. I can work on them standing instead of on my work tables. And because there's never enough, more fabric. I've got some shipping supplies in boxes. I've got packing stuff, more fabric, some Warbler and rubber up at the top. And I promise this is the last of it, just a little bit more fur. So there you have it. That is my storage area. and my studio. Thanks very much for watching. See you guys later.